Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
An achievement they will never forget, but the joy inside this school gym had nothing to do with sports.
Also, a key figure in Jimmy Hoffa's life and in the mystery surrounding his death has passed away.
And a sinister spending spree after police say a robbery crew targeted someone especially vulnerable. The initial crime taking place at an adult group home on the city's west side.
And then came that spending spree with the debit card they took from one of the people living in that group home.
Sean Lay is following this story for us tonight. Sean, Chief Craig spoke about this today. Investigators badly want to know who did this.
We did speak with the chief and those investigators, very motivated to find 3 people involved in this. We're talking about a victim who's a vulnerable adult here. These guys so bold to break into his group home, push him to the floor, take his debit card, and then take $1,600 from his account.
I think it's so sad. Like, it's really crazy.
Shantae Rice knows the people who live at the adult group home on her block. She watches out for them and is stunned that they would be the target for an awful crime.
It's really nice people, you know what I'm saying? I see them walk up and down the block all the time. They speak to me, I speak to them. It's just really sad. It's really sad.
At 8 Wednesday morning, sources tell Local 4 that 2 men forced their way into the group home on Manor just off of I-96. The men then forced their way into a bedroom and pushed a 56-year-old man down to the floor. Then they stole his debit card. Green light cameras at a gas station capturing the 2 men and a third man who stood as a lookout as the men used an ATM to take $1,600 from that victim's account.
Yeah, horrible situation. Yet another, vulnerable senior, and compounding that is the fact that he's challenged with mental illness, and these violent predatory suspects attack, rob, and so we're asking for the public's help. We are going to locate them.
Take a look. The video of these 3 is crystal clear. Investigators are out looking for them right now.
I always talk about how effective we use our technology. No difference in this instance. So we anticipate rather quickly that we will identify and arrest these violent predatory suspects.
I just checked so far, no arrests in this case. The man who was victimized here, we're told, is going to be okay. But with those 3 still out there, police still looking for them. Good video there. It's on our website, clickondetroit.com. If you want to take a second look, call police if you can help. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4.
All right, Sean, thanks.
We also continue to follow breaking news at this hour. A stretch of westbound I-94 on the east side of town remains closed due to a serious crash. This is right near the Allard Avenue exit. Skyforce showing us the wreck in the Harper Woods area. We are still awaiting word on injuries, but it does appear to us to be a pretty serious accident, as you can see. And for now, if you're about to head out on your evening commute, best to avoid the area westbound 94 at Allard Avenue.
Okay, well, let's get you caught up on your forecast. It was nice to see the sun today, though it wasn't really warming things up very much.
No, and a warm up coming now after the coldest day that we've had in a long time, Ben.
Yeah, it only gets better from here, guys. And by the way, it's brighter at 6 p.m. than it has been at noon on most days this month. Even with the sunshine still fading, it looks fantastic. And there's ice on the river. We haven't seen that a lot this winter so far. Temperatures are below that 20-degree mark. Wind chills taking another bite of how it feels out there. But once we get into the weekend, we will make some progress. 32 Saturday, 38 on Sunday. Yes, we will get a decent amount of sunshine. No, it will not be completely dry. What else would you expect? Snow showers coming in on Saturday evening. We'll look at the timing of that and exactly how much we're going to be shoveling, if any, by the time we get into Sunday. That's coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben, we're getting our first look at the man charged in the murder of well-known hairstylist Bashar Kalabat. 24-year-old Jimmy Pickett was arraigned today on first-degree murder charges. Prosecutors say Pickett entered Kalabat's room at the Jay-Z Motel on Detroit's east side Tuesday night, killed him and robbed him. The medical examiner says Kalabat died due to blunt force trauma to the head. Pickett is being held in the Wayne County Jail right now, being held without bond, and if convicted, he would face life in prison.
A victory in court today for those arguing Michigan's sex offender registry is too vague and too strict. It's part of a legal battle dating back to 2015. That's when a judge in Port Huron ruled parts of the law were unconstitutional, but no changes were made. So last summer, that same judge ordered the state to rewrite portions of the law. Again, no changes were made. The same judge today issued a ruling striking down parts of the law, giving the state 60 days to find a solution. Priya Mann is live with more on the ruling and what it all means. Priya.
Yeah, Kimberly, there's certainly a lot to break down here. First, if you're a sex offender, you will no longer be forbidden from living or working near a school. The ACLU has argued that rule in and of itself makes it next to impossible for offenders to get jobs and re-enter society. You will also no longer be forced to give over your email or phone number. Now, for years, the ACLU has been arguing in court that the registry is not effective and does nothing to keep your kids safe.
We've been working on this issue for a decade, and we finally see this ruling.
On Friday, a federal judge paved the way for the most comprehensive changes to Michigan's sex offender registry in years.
It is a tremendous win for public safety, for all Michigan families. It's a win for registrants, but it's a win for all of us.
The biggest change is that anyone on the registry before 2011 would be taken off.
It's a real opportunity to revise this failed, ineffective, bloated system and focus on what actually works.
The ruling by U.S. District Federal Judge Robert H. Cleland said portions of the registry are now unenforceable. He wrote, "For several years, registrants have been forced to comply with unconstitutional provisions of SORA. The parties and this court expected that the Sixth Circuit's ruling would spur legislative action. Unfortunately, the legislature was not able to finalize a new registration statute. Faced with a continued violation of their rights, plaintiffs returned to this court to remedy defendants' ongoing violations."
The point is, the law can't be enforced. It has to be rewritten. And so an appeal would simply be a waste of time, but that's not my decision, that's their decision.
So where do we go from here, right? Well, the judge has given both parties till mid-March to come back with a proposal on how they would implement these changes. He's also giving lawmakers some time to rewrite the law, something he wanted them to do a few years ago. Now, there is the chance if he doesn't like what he hears, he could scrap the registry altogether. Of course, there's a lot to follow here. We will bring you the very latest. Reporting live from downtown Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Okay, keep us posted, Priya. Thanks.
Former Detroiter Chucky OBrien has died. O'Brien was a key figure in Jimmy Hoffa's life, and some believe in his death. In fact, the FBI looked closely at his possible involvement in the disappearance of the Teamsters boss in the 70s. Our Rod Maloney has a look back.
Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance remains fascinating to all of us, and not just those here at the Teamsters Hall in the city of Detroit. And one of the guys who was central to it all is this guy. His name is Chucky OBrien, a man that Jimmy Hoffa took in as one of his own, was one of his closest confidants. And yet Chucky's son now says that the entire drama ruined his father's life.
There is no question about Hoffa, and don't you say that either.
For all the tough guy image Jimmy Hoffa brought to union organizing, he was a kind family man to Chucky OBrien.
His patience with young people was tremendous, and he always had time as you were growing up. I was a type of person, I'd ask him a million questions, and he never took an impatient time with me.
To Chucky, Jimmy was more than just a father figure, though. Chucky became Jimmy's driver and confidant. Chucky never claimed to be a Boy Scout.
July 30th was the worst day in my life.
Jimmy Hoffa had been to federal prison, wanted back in as president of the Teamsters, and the claim's always been that the mob didn't want him back in power. So on July 30th, 1975, Jimmy went to a lunch meeting with mob leaders at the Red Fox restaurant on Telegraph, but the mobsters stood him up. Jimmy waited an hour and a half and was last seen getting into a car with 3 other men. The FBI believed that Chucky was behind the wheel, but Chucky had an alibi, delivering a salmon to Teamster boss and official Bobby Holmes.
So now I'm carrying it in the house, and she's a particular housekeeper, and she's yelling at me, "You're ruining my floor, you're getting that water and blood all over."
Later, police canines found Hoffa's scent in the suspect car along with a hair. Chucky went before a grand jury and pled the fifth. Now, this is what Chucky looked like in his last days when he was living in Florida. His son, Jack Goldsmith, teaches at Harvard, and wrote a book about his father, asserting that his dad had nothing to do with Jimmy Hoffa's death, and points out the FBI knew that he had nothing to do with it, and yet they made his life miserable. And again, this entire incident ruined his life. Back to you.
Rod, so many questions, of course, remain about the whole story, but interesting. Chucky was portrayed in the movie that so many people have seen now, The Irishman.
Yes, and to hear Chucky's son tell it, utter fiction.
It's one of the more memorable scenes. They're arguing over the fish in the car. You just mentioned the salmon delivery, yeah, played by Jesse Plemons in the new movie. All right, Rod. You can learn more about Chucky OBrien and other important characters in the Hoffa story by listening. I highly recommend you listen to season 4 of our podcast series, Shattered. It's available for free wherever you get your podcast. Steve Garagiola, a terrific job putting it together.
I told Steve, I don't care about Jimmy Hoffa, but he made me care about it. Yeah, it's just his passion
really
for it.
Great storytelling.
All right, time now for a check of the national stories you'll hear ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News.
Lester Holt live now from New York with what we've got coming up tonight. Hi there, Lester.
Hey, Kim and Devin. Coming up, NBC News investigates the expensive new voting system about to get its first big test, but not everyone thinks it's ready or secure. Plus, the police body cam shocking parents, a little girl taken from school and committed to a mental health facility without her mother's consent.
And what exactly happened to spark that, Lester?
The girl's mother says her child has special needs and threw a tantrum in class. That's when the school called police. We're going to look at why taking the child away was, in that case, legal and what the law was meant to do when we see you on Nightly News.
Yeah.
It's coming up in about 20 minutes, Lester. We'll see you then. Ahead for us, an unforgettable moment in a local school gym. What got these students so excited and had their principal in tears? Doc.
He was born on Valentine's Day 14 years ago today, but Caden would need a new heart to survive. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, it's an update 14 years in the making, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Local 4 News is celebrating Black History Month.
Meet local people who have made an impact.
Get interesting history, facts, and more on Local 4 News today, and click on Detroit.com.